All right, we are live. Day 4,000 of the Gladiator grind, but I think we're almost there. Just getting fired up here. Let's see, what's my spec? Switch to this. Okay. What's this? All right. Got a paladin healer. Cool, cool. Oh, man, we're just jumping right into it. I just logged on. Messaged some of the people I was playing with yesterday. It's mage. What's this? Red. Okay. So we're playing Frost Mage, Destro Lock. Let's see, what are we doing here? This looks okay. I'd probably be better off with frequent donor here, but that's okay. Just get started here. Feel like I need like a minute to like wake up, get into the mode of things, but that's okay. Oh, oh, Mage had to AFK, so let's see how this goes. Nice. Interrupt the healer. Interrupt the healer. Oh, is he back? Let's see. We've only gone through every single CD, so. All right. This is pretty funny if we win, but it's going to be a tall order for sure. It's okay. uh, that's all right. I was actually thinking I needed a warm-up game anyway. Uh, all right, so we are diving into some threes. First game, Mage had something come up IRL, so that's okay. Okay. Ellie Shaman, Demo Lock, not so bad. The This is kind of one of those situations where I wonder if I should just go Hellcaller, because They have a lot of ability to mess with my burst. Might be better just to have more consistent damage output, but I think Diabolus is working pretty well with the, you know what? I don't know. There's a lot of different things you could do here. So I could run Howliter. I could go Hellcaller, which is probably a little bit better, but with that, with the mage, I found that Hellcaller is actually, or Diabolus is actually pretty good, simply because I should not have set my port there, but I was kind of lazy and I didn't mount up before the game started. That's okay. Dang. Nice interrupt. Alright, can I get a fear here? Got a fear. Alright, we are simply... The reason I'm using a lot of Cataclysms here is because they have a lot of targets. It gives me a ton of shards to have like Immolate just rolling on everybody. Let's see, do I need to wall here? Probably not. Healer's pretty safe. Maybe I will wall. Okay. Feels like not getting any mayhem procs. It's kind of weird. There's like a bazillion targets to hit. Double coil. Here we go. Big damage. Hopefully... nope, nothing. So just trinket that. Nope. Double coil. Got line of sight here for a second. Just seems like having a rough start here, a rough game. I can't cast anything. Like, every single stun is on me, so I think the mage is free casting, so that's good. Dang, that was close. I just can't cast. All right, they finally interrupted somebody else. That's actually really good. Double coil. Interrupt the hex. Uh-oh. Might be dead here. Shoot. How do we... I mean, we had so much pressure. So okay. Baseline, this is a tough comp because the longer it goes, the more that the Mortal Strike effect from the Warlock makes it harder to win. However, I think we had a lot of opportunities there. I think we just kind of split our damage a little too much. Maybe I focused on the Ellie too much. I think if we just like trained the lock, that probably would have done the trick. Because we got through all their major cooldowns. Damage was good. It's just a matter of like just losing out on the pressure there at the end. It's tough. They're like so... Yeah, we were way ahead on mana. I think that's right. We were ahead on mana. We were just ahead on damage. So much pressure. It's actually crazy I was getting that much damage out. Okay. Focus here. Destro, Feral. This is pretty straightforward. Definitely want to go on the... well, we'll see. Feral or Destro, whoever's like more positioned aggressively. I think I need to do this. Get the Amp Curse. You know, I've still never tested what happens when you Amp Curse of Weakness a Destro lock. Because their Chaos Bolts are supposed to always crit, and the Amp Curse of Weakness makes it so they can't crit. I don't know what what has priority in that situation. Man, I don't think I've hit any of my kicks today. Not good. Got... Okay, interrupted, that's fine. Man, I'm not maybe I'm a little rusty, having not played for about 5 hours. I'm getting my butt kicked with the kicks. There we go, finally. Like, it shouldn't have been that hard. Alright. There we go. I think I've landed like 2 spell locks out of maybe 6 or 7. That's really bad. And I've been in a. I don't think I've only gotten precog like 2 or 3 times. So still warming up. You know what's really funny? So like I have this APM counter now. APM is actions per minute, and you can kind of see like how much I'm clicking and pressing my buttons and stuff. So far today, I've been at like an average of 423 APM. Um, but when I found that when I play off stream, fully alert, like in the evenings, I'm like 550, 600. So like I'm like much. I think I'm just much more alert. It's weird. It's actually a measurable difference. I kind of want to graph it out. See like, okay, this is what my APM is in the morning. Okay, after I had 2 cups of coffee, this is what my APM is. I don't know. I bet there's like actual trends. Also, kind of depends on the what do you call it um, spec, because I think I'm definitely casting more as affliction, so my APM must be much higher as affliction. Maybe that's the thing. Mage is asking who I go for. I should actually know in advance. I don't really know. I think it's because I'm a solo shuffler at heart. I just kind of wing it. Like here, what is this? Is this double melee, or do you think it's a caster? Monks can play with anybody, so caster. Okay. All right. Got a plan. Look at that. We're like coordinating stuff. Crazy. What is this? So, Shigenbast. What a great name. Wow, that's a great name. I'm just gonna kite for a second because um, that's actually pretty close to a kill. It's kind of funny. Nice. This is so sad. Double coil. Oh shoot, I missed my kick again. All right, second block. shoot. Getting like Windows update alerts. Double coil. Oh shoot, am I dead? Dude, I can't believe that guy lived. Double coil. Not a very good double coil. Gotta play more aggro on this. Nice. Because that mage started playing super defensive, so couldn't just focus him. Yeah, this mage is good on my team. He's like good at CC, good at switching targets, kind of like the whole package. Pretty nice. But yeah, we're able to do some pretty solid damage. I don't know. I feel like they should have shut me down a lot more. Hey Fjern, good morning. How's it going? We are back to playing more mage. You know, I don't know where I am. So there is like this is in Dornigal. I don't know if you knew this existed, but I did not know it existed. There's like a passageway here. I just discovered it. Speak easy? Is there like a bar here? There is a bar here. There's no bartender though. Sometimes you find some cool stuff, you know? Just walking around Dornigal. There's a rat. All right. Mage, Warrior. This is almost exactly what we just faced. I think Warrior and Windwalker play very similarly. I mean, at least you play against them very similarly. Fjern, been better, been worse. Pretty settled on the Evoker, still considering Pally or DK for your ult. Yeah, I think that's cool. You know, Evoker is I think it's a great class to learn simply because it's new, which means that Blizzard is still kind of figuring out what to do with it. Augmentation's kind of in a funny spot. Hey Calvin, you stinky. You like to duel? Oh, actually, hold on 1 second. I guess the game is starting. Probably should pay attention. Double coil. Fake the kick. Fear the pally. Didn't get the fear, that's for sure. So the reason I was hitting the mage there is just because of Mayhem just procced. Fear the pally. Do I not have Impish Instincts? I feel like that was a long time before I could port. So I actually can blow up this pally real quick. Double coil. That was almost a disaster because he reflected my. Was about to reflect my cast bolt. This is really bad. Nice. Got the infernal. Look at how long that's so ridiculous. All right. I was like polyed and he's whirlwinding on me. Just like doesn't break for like 2 seconds. It's crazy. Calvin, Stinky, you like to duel. Can you recommend a good caster for 1v1s? I think in one of your videos you said Demolock's pretty good. Yeah, Demolock is up there. I think caster-wise, casters are not the best at 1v1s. But Demolock is up there. However, you will always lose against a good ret or rogue, sub-rogue. A good ret or sub-rogue will always win. And it's a little bit of a skill matchup against everyone else. Like you could beat warriors, you could beat hunters, you can beat other casters, no problem. I think mages are probably pretty strong too. I tend to beat them in 1v1s. I don't know. So kind of weird. But they have the right kit to win 1v1s. I think Destro can work really well in duels too. I don't play Destro much though in 1v1 scenarios. So I don't actually have a lot of experience there because I don't when I'm doing like questing and stuff around the world, I tend to play demo just because I like my pet to tank for me. But I think you can make a lot of stuff work with Destro too. You just play with a succubus and you just line up a big wombo combo. But I don't have a lot of experience with that. But yeah, demo's great. Affliction is sadly, I mean, it's not terrible. Like you can beat people just if you have all your cooldowns, you can just surprise them with the amount of damage. But if they have any sort of immunity, ice block, bubble, cloak of shadows, time stop, or like bugs, they have like immunity thing too. Whatever, karma. Like you're just gonna lose that, so it's pretty tough. Yeah, of the casters, I'd say the best 1v1s are probably going to be Warlock and Mage. And actually, I think Warlock is better. Maybe Moonkin is okay too. I'm not sure. I don't see a whole lot of that, to be honest. In 1v1s, they're all like team fighting and stuff. Hey, Shug. Healer going tree or angel? They just dispel? Yeah. Oh yeah. Actually, 1v1 against a healer in the open world, I mean, it's pretty hard to kill somebody. There's no dampening. They won't kill you either, but um, but yeah. Oops, got stuck on that thing. Just lay my port in the open because. Oh, it's a afflock. Oh, I see. Man, I need to pay attention. There's cloak. It's a great early cloak. Now he killed my pet pretty quickly, but that's okay. He was doing his you know, I don't think I need a wall here. Dang. What this shaman is doing well is forcing us to group up using that static totem thingy. Alright, I am getting thoroughly controlled here. I don't have any answer here. But I do have interrupt. Alright, there we go. That's all there's to it. Man, that team did so much damage. It's crazy. I wonder if they were playing the Bloodstone thing, because like I've been trying that, and it's like actually not terrible, because they went through so much damage early on, very quickly, very effective. Calvin, also thanks so much for the guides. Oh yeah, no problem. You know, we're coming up on a month until the next season, so I'm going to have to sit down and record new guides for season 3. Thing is, like, I actually don't know what's going to be the best specs, what the best hero talents are going to be. I think some of the talent points are changing. Not a lot, but probably enough to make to be worthy of new guides. So we'll see. It'll be fun. You know, a lot of teams are playing melee caster. I think it's because Ellie and mages are so strong right now, and they pair well with different melee. But it's actually nice to see, because I think it's way more fun to play with and against melee casters. We're playing caster cleave, and it just feels like if when we face against caster cleaves, it's just like a long game. It just takes forever. But melee caster just feels like there's a little bit more like setup opportunities and stuff. So, and if everyone's playing caster cleaves, it's pace of the game is too slow. If everyone's playing melee cleaves, it's like super boring. I'm sure. I've never played melee really, but I'm sure it's boring. Okay. Whoops. We're just getting started here. Immediately. Double coil. Oh shoot! I always forget that the druid can interrupt me too. What do we think is the target here? What do we do here? I need to get out of here. This is such a bad spot. I can't believe that guy can kick me from downstairs. That's ridiculous. Poly. I don't know what we're doing. Doesn't feel like we can do any effective damage on anybody. Hellstone. Wow, this feels super hard. Double coil. Man, how do we, that felt pretty impossible. I'm trying to think like how we beat that. Mage is saying report the Ellie. Do you think he's doing something fishy? It felt totally unwinnable. I don't know. Couldn't really hit anything. I don't know if I can't tell. Honestly, all like whether an Ellie is hacking or not, I can't tell the difference. They all do a bazillion damage. Looks the same to me. All right, Calvin. You made a ret felt bad playing. um, it's not what you can do. You like AF, but with the drain life changes, it feels bad. You're not a high rated player there. You don't have to be a high rated player to enjoy, especially if you like world PvP, like 1v1 stuff. Everyone out there is like, no, you run into people of all sorts of skill levels, and it's fun either way. So you shouldn't feel bad about playing ret. I mean, if you like it, it's like it. Yeah, yeah. Both of them feel pretty confident that they were botting. It's possible. I don't know. Some of the kicks were a little like crazy, but I can't tell. I don't know. And if I can't tell, who can tell? Honestly, the thing is, I don't think it's easy to tell if, when people are botting or not, unless you like know what it feels like to. I just haven't tried botting, so I don't know what the difference is. I know Ellie is like very susceptible to it because it's like I don't know, it's like very easy to program apparently, but whatever. Ellie with Ascension is fun. It's your highest rated caster at the moment. The power Ellie has with that button and random pops catches so many healers off guard. Yeah, Ellie burst damage is crazy. And you can't shut down an Ellie. You can go on an Ellie and they do the same damage regardless. So that's a really powerful thing as a caster. Because a lot of casters are easy to shut down if you train them. Yeah. I think it's a really solid class. Ellie went through, I mean, I just remember way back in the day, it went through a lot of periods where it was super strong, then super weak, then super strong, super weak, just like over and over again. But since Dragonflight, it's pretty much stabilized as like a very strong, above average caster every single season, and it's always above average. I don't know why, but I think it has to do with the. It's probably easy to play in some respects where like the rotation's easy and you can't get shut down, so like positioning and everything else is easy too. But it has a lot of buttons, so that probably alone makes it a little bit more challenging. And Blizzard tends to make more challenging stuff a little bit stronger, I think. I'm not sure about that, but I think. Oh yeah, I see. So like those, yeah, the Rest Druid and Ellie are brand new accounts. Oh, okay. I think the mage is pretty confident. I think they probably are botting. If it's like a brand new account and they play super well like that, like perfect totems and everything like that, like perfect GCDs, then pretty decent chance they're botting and they've gotten banned before. So, oh well, whatever. Affliction, assassination. So this team did some pretty nutty damage last game. It was definitely caught me a little off guard. We still, I mean, the longer the game goes, the more we're gonna win, simply because they're pretty squishy targets. So even though they have Mortal Strike and we don't, and they do more damage than us than we don't, like we have a better chance of getting a kill. However, during Dark Glare, pretty scary. So we'll see. Got to shut down the lock during Dark Glare. Uh, Man, just can't move. That's a really nice early cloak. Oh, he faked my kick. Am I lagging? That was kind of a weird thing there. Oh wow, that was very risky. Oh man, I got kicked. That's unfortunate. I'm just gonna trinket that. I have not been able to get on the offense at all yet. I'll wall here. Although, probably not the best wall. Not good. Healer is kind of stressed out. But we have Infernal here. Unfortunately, Cloak is probably back up too. Shoot. Horrify. Alright, nice. We got a second Cloak. Dang. Oh my gosh, I got... Not good. All right, this is it. Oh my gosh, I need to get my kicks together. Oh shoot, I made a big mistake. I think I barely managed to recover. I think the healer saved me because I ported. Didn't have a good idea of where my healer was. So that was a huge risk on my part. But managed to survive. I think the big play I made there was I void elf teleported before I knew that the rogue was going to try and smoke bomb me. So I managed to like get out of the smoke bomb with that. So that worked out well. I think I yeah. I think the biggest problem is like I keep overlapping my CS with mage CS, and even when I'm not overlapping, I'm just like missing it. People are faking me, and I'm actually usually pretty good about that. So I just need to think about my timing on that. Okay, yeah, I should have reported those the Ellie and Messenger team. Yeah, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, when their mechanics are that on point, it's kind of fishy. If they're like at 2300 on a fresh account, and the mechanics are like rank 1 level, kind of fishy. All right, I think we faced this earlier. Can't remember what the healer was. Pally? Okay. Calvin, do you have any thoughts or concerns about Blizzard's take on add-ons? Interested in my perspective? So, I'm concerned about one major thing. I think a lot of the changes I'm okay with as long as Blizzard implements it well. Like it's not all of a sudden they're turning off a bunch of stuff and like the game is still tuned around everyone having a bazillion add-ons. Um, like if it's a kind of more gradual implementation, I could see that working really well. And I think most stuff can go, and and that'll be okay. What I'm worried about is the balance between melee and casters is going to be thrown off when you lose Omnibar. Omnibar is like by far the most important add-on for casters. Without it, you are like just like sitting duck. Double coil. Did that not go off? It did, but it just didn't hit anybody. Oh shoot! I think I should have. Do I wall there? I think I was trying to port, but I guess my port was still on CD, or I was stunned. I'm not sure. I don't think I don't think I should have walled there. I mean, I shouldn't need to wall there. It was just a positioning issue. I took the gate away, but I probably didn't even need the gate away. There was no reason to. Healer was in a good spot. Uh, it's not like it buys me any time from the Windwalker. He's like on me within a second anyway. Yeah, I probably should have just like stood my ground, get some damage out. As for add-ons, I think what I'm going to try soon is I'm going to try disabling a bunch of add-ons and see what it feels like. Because I think a lot of my add-ons are really just cosmetic. Like this thing, I don't know what you call it. My weak aura here that tracks cooldowns. I could probably use the Blizzard cooldown manager. I wouldn't love it because it's not very customizable. Like it shows probably like too many buttons, but it's not terrible. I could use it. A lot of this stuff here, this just makes it look prettier. Gladius makes it look better, but diminishing return tracker is not super critical for me. It is nice to be able to get a really good fear right off of DR, but it's not make or break. You can play without that because you kind of have a gut feeling for when DR is up anyway, and that's probably like a skill expression thing. So that's good. Let's see, what is this? Let's see. Yeah, I think Feral. So I amp Curse of Weakness on the dragon only because I'll health stun there. Got a good fear on the Mistweaver. I thought I faked that shoot. Port, big damage. Trinket that. Interrupt the healer. Low coil. Excuse me. Soulfire. Shoot, I need to get closer to the healer to CC him. Amp Curse of Weakness this guy. So there I use Cataclysm just because it's behind the corner, and it hits behind corners. Eat the sleep. The sleep is actually sending me into a really annoying place. Nice. Yeah, I think that's the thing about like it's like with this double caster team, I can't really declare a target at the start because we start on the feral, but we just hit whoever's closest, and that's actually the most effective thing you can do. Just hit whoever's close by. They'll eventually die. Something will die. I think what I'm gonna do though, Calvin, just to clean up that thought, is I'm gonna try disabling more add-ons soon after I finish the Glad grind, and just kind of see what it feels like. I think the only thing I'm gonna completely miss is Omnibar, because I don't know how you play as a caster without Omnibar. It's been a long time. I mean, I obviously I haven't had Omnibar forever, but I think it was even around in Kata. I'm not sure. I played a lot in Kata, and you need to have a kick tracker because interrupts are they're not there's not enough graphics and noise associated with them. So it's really hard to see when somebody uses an interrupt. So I don't even think there's like really skill expression associated with like knowing when interrupts are on cooldown or off. You just can't even see it. It's so quiet. Like when somebody pummels somebody, it's just like I don't know. When they're kicking you, you'll know. Usually, you can kind of hear it. But if they kick your healer or something then like that, you can't. It's like impossible to know. So that's the biggest thing I'm worried about because the game is balanced around casters finding windows of opportunity to cast things. And if casters don't have the ability to recognize those windows, that's a huge advantage for hunters in melee. So I'm not confident that Blizzard recognizes this because this is a PvP only issue. This sort of issue is not going to affect PvPers. They don't need kick trackers, you know. So, like, yes, it'll help them a little bit in their PvE runs, being able to track their friends' cooldowns and stuff. But it's not really make or break. So, I'm a little worried. I think they would have to greatly buff precognition or do something to like really balance around that. Okay, this team beat us earlier because I mispositioned. I think it was actually this map. I got ice walled. I just got wrecked by the ice wall. So I think I need to be really smart about my ports, or my gateway usage rather.
Mortals, I present a lucrative opportunity.
But I think we beat them the first time pretty handily. I just need to watch out for the burst because they have a ton of burst. Um, Probably amp curse of weakness on the monk, and then go from there. Shoot, I'm getting a phone call. I'm just gonna wall. I think we just need to survive this opener and then double coil. Wow, I can't cast a thing. I am gonna have to gate here though. Oh shoot, I need to live here. Wow, why are these games so crazy? So dynamic. I think it's just like the amount of CC. Mages are busted. But it's good to get revenge. Um, how do I play that differently? I feel like that was like really close. What do I do differently? Because I don't want it to be that close. We will face them again, I'm sure. It just feels like the burst is crazy. Like having to wall in the opener like that. The reason I walled there is because like our healer has to probably either bubble or I have to wall right at the start because the mage is casting poly. I missed my kick early on in the first poly. Kind of had to do something there, so pretty tough. Calvin, you agree with me? Turned off all your add-ons to prepare for their add-on Ragnarok, and doing arenas felt so bad. You got used to it, for a while, but I think playing Ellie and demo with no add-ons felt the worst. Yeah, you know, so one thing is the add-on apocalypse that's coming. It's not going to hit every single add-on. So a lot of the stuff that makes your game just look nicer and hide stuff that's like unnecessary, like plater, you know, stuff that like nameplates and things like that. I think all of that's still going to work. Um, However, the substantive stuff, like anything that tracks timers and debuffs and stuff, that's going away, and casters are going to get hit hard. I think healers are going to get hit super hard. So I don't play a lot of healer at a high level. I mean, I've played them to 2400 before, but it's been a long time. Um, and I think not being able to sort debuffs on your targets, like so you can like be like, this is the debuff I want to dispel and like prioritize. That's going to be crazy. I don't know how we're going to deal with that. So there's a lot of stuff that's going to be kind of like unbalanced. But all of this can be solved with further balancing. It's just that Blizzard needs to be on top of it. Thick. So thick. Plater was on the list of add-ons to be purged? Really? I thought Plater's like just cosmetic, isn't it? I mean, it shows you. I guess there's a lot of customization maybe. That's maybe a little bit too much from Blizzard's perspective. I'm not sure. Maybe I need to like refresh my understanding of what they're doing. Anything that shows enemy CDs. So Plater doesn't do that though. Isn't that big debuffs? So big debuffs might go away. And Plater's just showing like their health bars and stuff, right? Like it just looks nicer. Am I wrong? And it'll still show. You'll still be able to see your debuff timer on somebody, right? I mean, there's no way they're gonna hide how long your immolate lasts on somebody, right? That'd be crazy if you can't even know when to refresh your dots. I'm sure they're not doing that. You'll link the list again? Okay, yeah, I'm curious. Because like, I think even with the base UI, you can see like how long your immolates last and stuff. If you can't, then this game is like unplayable for casters or dot classes. Maybe I'll try a 2400 challenge, just no add-ons. Somebody suggested that the other day, and I think it's a good idea. I think it's totally possible. I'm just concerned about the very high end of play when it's like, you know, like against this team. I need to know when he has used his kicks, like rebuke, Red Pally rebuke. If there's even a graphical anything associated with it, I don't know what it is. You know, I don't even. There might be a little tiny sound associated with it, but it's like very very hard to track. So I'm kind of concerned. Why is AF not playable in solo shuffle? Always triple melee or double warrior? You know, it it is playable if you are able to kind of figure out how your opponents are kicking and you're able to just get some precogs. But it's so binary. It's like either you dominate that kind of lobby because you're getting precogs, or you just get wrecked. I think that's kind of. So it looks like they're training. They're going after the mage. I'd probably do that too if I were them. Double coil. Got a bubble. That's pretty nice. Am I like the world's worst kicker today? Dang it! I could not interrupt the. I'll wall here because I think this is their only kill opportunity. Fear the druid. Man, this is pretty annoying. I do not like it when teams are playing cowardly like this. Alright, here we go. Everyone's got their 2-minute cooldowns up. Silenced, but that's okay. There, got him. Alright. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense what they're doing. They're like waiting for their cooldowns, but my 2-minute cooldown is even stronger, so all good. Gazek. Big debuffs is a massive problem. How are you supposed to see a poly or root in a zoo of debuffs? Yeah, there are too many debuffs in the game. And they're all like, I have like a bazillion of them, you know? And I don't even know what half of them do. And they're mostly irrelevant. The default UI doesn't let the druid see their own hots. I think that's the biggest problem for healers. Like healers, if you can't sort debuffs, that makes dispelling a million times harder. Like a million times harder. I'd say even the best healers in the game are extremely dependent on sorting debuffs. So let's see, thick. You just pause the video at 30 seconds. Interesting. Yeah, big debuffs and threat plates not play. Yeah, plater should be okay, but big debuffs is going to be going. But oh wait, plater is on the list. They're changing the UI to accommodate killing off of add-ons. Yeah, so it all comes down to implementation. What like the two things in my mind that they really need to make sure that the base UI accommodates are one, buff and debuff sorting, at least to some degree. Even if you can't hide stuff, even if you can just like prioritize certain ones, that'd be very important. And then second is interrupt tracking, because at least for PvPers, unless they're like mega buff precognition, like it should be like a 10-second. I don't know what it'd have to be insanely stronger to counter the like incredible OP, incredibly OP invisible kicks. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see the player. Double warrior, havoc, triple warrior with precogs flowing, still get wrecked at 2500. Oh yeah, 2500. I don't know. I mean, if you're playing warlock into triple melee at a high rating, um, your goal is just to get by, you know, get a couple wins here and there. 2 wins is a win in a lobby like that. Because if they're good and they're doing all their rotations right and they're reflecting and interrupting and all that stuff, it's a pretty tall order to try and win those matches. You think the drain life nerfs hurt AF the most, which is why it feels bad? You're right. I mean, they completely changed affliction from a sustain spec to like a burst, like a kind of like a mini destro lock. It's way worse now. It would be so much better as the way it was before. Like with it'd be more fun with drain life as like your central burst and heal mechanism. That was like so cool back in the day. But here we are. It's all about the malefic raptures. You're like your only defense as affliction is just more offense. All right, let's amp curse this guy. Double coil into stun into chaos bolt. All right, he banned that. Oh my gosh, I need to stop. I just need to like not even interrupt. It's better to not interrupt than to give precog consistently like that. Double coil. This is oh shoot. Oh no. Well, I got precog at least. Which means they run. Wow, that was so brave of him not to bubble there. All right. This is like deja vu. They're just playing super scared. Second Infernal. This is probably a kill. Oh nope, I forgot about Spellbot. One more cooldown. Oh man, interrupt that. Double coil. Oh my gosh, so much CC. Here on this druid. Somebody will have to explain to me how a ret does so much damage from behind a pillar. It's insane. Oh my gosh. How can I not hit anything? Double coil. Oh my gosh. Did we get it? I feel like this is a... Alright, spamming his corpse, he's dead. Alright. That's crazy. Just like ring around the rosy for forever. They should probably add more dampening to shuffle. I mean, to threes. Because I think the pace of games in shuffle is really fun. Is it too high? Maybe it'd be too high for threes. But it just feels like it's we're just kind of like doing nothing until the 2-minute cooldown is back up. And even then, we're kind of doing medium nothing until the 2-minute cooldowns are back at 4 minutes. So that's kind of like how that game went. Need three infernals to end the game. Kozo pumping as Destro. Yeah, and I'm playing Diabolist, which is pretty universally recognized as worse than Hellcaller, but it's fun. I think like it's more satisfying. I like the feedback I get from when I summon a demon and he's like blasting alongside me. That's pretty awesome. You only play Diabolist? Yeah, it's so much more fun. Like Hellcaller, I just feel like I'm doing nothing. Even if the damage meter is great, it's just like it feels like you're doing nothing. Hey Simon, Simon. Oh yeah, wrote in Discord about coaching. Sorry for replying late. Oh no, no worries. Yeah, I thought you'd moved on. I'll respond later. I'm not sure about when. So right now I have family in town, so I'm just kind of like squeezing in as much streaming as I can this week. And back to a little bit of more of a normal cadence next week. Uh, Hopefully putting together more videos and stuff. So I've been a little bit. So it's actually kind of good that this week didn't work out. But I will. Let me catch up with you afterwards, Simon. See, Rhett is ranged now, Calvin. Yeah, isn't that crazy? That Rhett did a lot of damage, and he was. I wish there was a way to see how much time he spent behind a pillar, but it was like 70% of the time. He's like behind a pillar, like more than the hunter. The hunter was like actually in the open more, and the hunter is like a lot of his stuff is channeled, so he doesn't have to be in the open that much actually. Can't stand Hellcaller since he began to play War Within. I'm also not a fan. I think we're gonna have to play Hellcaller once season 3 drops. Uh, Unless there are some changes, they might have more balancing changes. But right now, Hellcaller seems better. Um, right now, but if Hellcaller is only a little bit better than Diabolist, I'm gonna play Diabolist because it's just more satisfying. Ads? Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's Twitch for you. Um, yeah, it's kind of a funny time. I think a lot of stuff is viable, and if Blizzard hits the nail on the head next season, then we might have 6 viable hero talents for a Warlock. Right now we have 5. Hellcaller Affliction is just kind of left behind in the dust, um, but everything else is pretty good, and there's a fair amount of variety between the hero talents, so you can actually get a lot of enjoyment out of just one class right now because they're all pretty different. I'm a big fan of Diabolist Destro, Soul Harvester Demo, Soul Harvester Av, but you can make a lot of different stuff work. Tootin, you main Hellcaller Av? I've had a moderate success with Hellcaller Av running Bloodstones. So Bloodstone is like the PvP talent that's kind of it's a gimmick. You get this haste buff for 12 seconds instead of healing, which is like kind of a gimmick. Uh, like at higher end play, it's just you need health stones, but you can definitely get Hellcaller Av to certainly elite ranks. I mean, I was playing it at 25, 2600 on my with Bloodstones in solo shuffle, so it's viable. It's just a little bit worse, and unfortunately, it's similar enough to Soul Harvester Affliction that's really hard to justify playing it right now. Except in Blitz. Blitz is actually not bad. You're 2.4 on 2 locks playing Hellcaller only. That's actually pretty good because it's you're playing with like not a whole hand tied behind your back, more like a few fingers tied behind your back. It's not a huge disadvantage, but it is a disadvantage. That's pretty impressive. Because to be honest, you don't feel like you get much health from your health stone. So health stone without soul burn is like feels like nothing, especially if you have a healing debuff on you. But health stone with soul burn is massive. So you always make sure you use your soul burn before health stone. It'll do like even with a healing debuff, you're probably getting like 50% of your health back. Let's see. Simon, you're playing Diabolist. Would you recommend switch or stay in it if you have a rank below 1800? Uh, are you playing Diabolist Destro or Diabolist Demo? Because I think Diabolist Demo is very good. Diabolist Destro is good, but only if you have kind of like the right if you're able to get a fair amount of fake casts and precogs in, like you have to do a lot of kick tracking because you have to cast a lot. Destro, I mean, it can definitely work, and I think it's. I mean, I've been playing Diabolist Destro just all day today. It's strong, you know. Um, Hellcaller is just easier because as a newer player, you don't have to cast as much, and you'll still do a lot of damage. But Diabolist, it does more burst. So if you are able to line up your Chaos Bolts and everything, and your Immolates and get rolling on your damage and shards and stuff, then it's actually really strong. Okay, let's see. Is this like the 5th time we face these guys? Something like that. I think we're up, but... Double coil into fake kick. Nope, didn't get it. I'm gonna port. Take this out of the way. Oh, he kicks me. I should have tried to fake that kick. That was a mistake. See if I can get a few here. Nice, got it. Port. All right, here we go. Blasting. I don't know what's going on with this ice wall, but I'm gonna fear and blast. Sometimes I get that weird thing where like he's like popping in and out of existence. It's like I just can't keep target on him. I don't know if that's like a mage thing or if it's a bug. Nice, fake the kick. Just gonna blast this monk for a second. Keep him honest, you know? Port. Gate. Think I'm in trouble, maybe? No, nice, nice heal. Fake the kick. Fear the healer. Double coil. This is a really good coil. And kill. Alright, nice. Nice and clean. Let's see. Hellcaller Tootin. Hellcaller is pretty good. Saw my YouTube on AF. Played a bit different than you. You know, I think I've gotten some feedback there that like there are a lot of different ways to play Affliction, and I'm not the best Affliction luck. I'm pretty consistently like I can get to top 10 Destro or Demo. Affliction is like I sometimes get there and sometimes don't. So like I think there's something to be left to be desired in my Affliction playstyle, but I enjoy it a lot because it's kind of a very spammy playstyle. Where did I get this transmog? So this is from the new event. If you kill this, there's this like goblin. He spawns outside of Dornigal every hour, like on the hour every hour, maybe like 5 minutes after the hour. So like I probably just missed it. It was like at 12:05, but he spawns right outside Dornigal over here, and you have a chance of, or when you kill him, you get these like these blood. I don't know what they're called. Hellstone shards. Yeah, and then if you get enough Hellstone shards, like 40 Hellstone shards, Then you go over here. Also, you can get this mount that I'm using right now. This mount is from that goblin, so just random drop. And you can spend them here. I can buy another set actually. So, um, you know, wasn't the paladin one kind of cool? Yeah, it's like super red. I'll just buy the paladin one, whatever. And then it's like a anniversary event or something for Diablo. I actually usually use a different mug, but you know, let's use the seasonal one. It's pretty cool. Um, Simon, you're at 2,300 points on your unholy DK. It's way easier for you, but the lock is more fun. Most times you don't have enough space to cast. You know, Simon, I would recommend giving Hellcaller Destro a shot because it's a little bit easier. You'll find that you'll get more mileage out of your Withers, and Malevolence is an instant cast, and it's just going to add a lot of damage once you have Wither on 3 targets. Um, and then if you manage to get a precog or you manage to get through a bunch of kicks, then you can try to blast with your Chaos Bolt. Um, that's kind of the play style with Diablos too, but it's just that you have to cast a lot more as Diablos to make it work. So you're typically not going to do. I don't know. I'm kind of pumping right now, but like often as Diablo Destro, you're not going to be doing like top damage because you're just getting shut down a lot, you know? Am I playing threes with LFG or friends? So this is actually, I found these guys on LFG yesterday. Actually, I don't know who the pally is at all. He's good though. I found this mage on LFG yesterday. I've been having like very inconsistent results on LFG. It's like super annoying, the whole process. So I highly recommend Solo Shuffle and Battleground Blitz to people because it's just a million times more fun. The queue times are annoying, but you're kind of spending a ton of time looking for groups and you're trying to do 2s and 3s. So unless you have a group of friends that you're already queuing with, LFG is like one of the worst experiences in the game. CSC Shark, thank you for subbing. Welcome to the sub club. Hey, CSC, I didn't see hadn't checked the YouTube chat in a second. Calvin, someone at Blizzard got rolled by triple soul rot drain life, decided AF had to go. Yeah. Yeah. You've been a Warlock main since day one, launch in 2004. You've been playing Warlock longer than me. I started Warlock in Burning Crusade. Love the content, keep it up. I will try. Yeah. Trying to make stuff that's just fun and educational. Chill, you know? Happy vibes. All right, so Warrior marks Holy Priest. So Holy Priest is pretty annoying. It's very hard for me to keep Immolate up. So and without Immolate, I have very little kill pressure. And they do a ton of burst. So let's see how this goes. CSC took a break, went to New World. But New World is kind of dead. Actually, is New World another game? I actually never heard of it. I don't know anything about it. I just play WoW. That's like all I do. James, hope you're having a great time. Yeah, I'm having fun. We're just doing some threes. This is the LFG's trying to finish off the Glad grind. I don't know. I'm not gonna. You know what? I will celebrate if I ever finish this grind. It's super annoying. Double coil. Let's stun the priest and fear the priest out of that. Nope, got stunned. You know, warriors often when they're whirlwinding like that, it feels like they're like totally I can't touch them. Like they're just porting around like crazy. Oh, that's a sweet wall. I guess Divine Hymn works through the wall, so it's actually not a big deal, but still. So try to pull this warrior out of line of sight of his healer. Maybe I'm in trouble, but we're okay. Let's pull him up here. Shoot. That's not good. Use a lot of cooldowns there. Double coil. Oh, shoot. I've got to get a fear here. Gotta get another fear here. I don't even know what to go on. Everything is scary. So scared. Alright, nice, we got the kill. Man, that was pretty hard. Whoa, am I gonna die here? Alright. Just the sheer amount of damage that a hunter does stresses me out, man. I don't know. Like that warrior is like, we're smashing him down, so he's kind of in defensive mode for a lot of it, but just like still doing a ton of damage too. Hey James, how long will I stream today? Super cool background music. Oh yeah, so this is called synthwave. I like just discovered this a couple months ago. I'm like addicted. Still not even tired of it. But if you search for synthwave, like it's spelled like this with a S-Y-N wave, you can on Spotify you'll find a bunch of songs in that category. I'm like so I've just been adding a bunch. How long will I stream today? I'm not sure. So I've got family in town. They're kind of jet lagged, so I've been able to play a decent bit in the mornings, but afternoons probably go out do some stuff. So I'll be back to more of a normal schedule next week and streaming a lot more. So Toot and Fresh for threes. You like playing off meta comps. Your favorite is double AF HPAL. You know, I'd be curious to try that. Honestly, I've not played much of it. Oh, this is the last game for now. Looks like the Pally has to go to work. It's funny. You know what? Let's start on this guy because this is an extremely defensive playstyle from the Fire Mage. Wow, just porting around like crazy. You're the Pally? Uh-oh. Shoot. Okay. I'll just eat the glare. No big deal. Port that. All right. Interrupt the poly. I don't even know what to go on. I think the rogue is still the best option. So I pop my wall just to help catch up. And I don't think they're trying to kill me, like, at all. And they can't as long as I have port. Trinket port, so I have to be careful though. Alright, here we go. Blasting. He's gonna have to cloak. Maybe? Maybe not. Trinket that. You're the Pally? So now we've got a second Infernal. What the? Interrupt the Frostfire, which I assume stops all his damage, right? Never really actually figured that out. It sounds like the Frost and a multi-school thing. Probably. Okay. Gouged and Searing Glared. All good. We're in trouble though. Alright. So right now we're just trying to Yeah, we got the precog. Just blast this guy. Interrupt the poly. Double coil. Shoot, I can't do anything. Interrupt the poly. Gotta fear the mage here. Just trying to buy time. You know what? Let's hit the pally. Wait, let's hit the mage. Hit everything. Oh, we're in trouble here. But I've got second infernal. Double coil. Oh my gosh, I just can't. Your pally or priest? Whatever. There's no priest in the game. Interrupt poly. Slow this guy. Slow this guy. So actually, pally is a pretty good spot. Pretty good target too, because he has no bubble. Oh shoot, we might be dead here. Gotta peel here. Interrupt the mage. Your mage. Your pally. Damn, this is just infuriating. The definition of annoying. That's pretty tough. I'm not sure how to that's a good team. They're 2600. It was winnable. Like we got through every single CD, but I think we had a rough start. So we went through both blocks pretty early. If we had if I'd done a little better with the peeling. All right. All right. Looks like actually so yeah, sorry again everyone for this week is we've got family in town, so we're just chilling, trying to take them around town and do some stuff. So I'm actually unfortunately gonna have to call this one early. Um, but yeah, we got back to 24, at least briefly, and then so we'll finish our gladiator grind, hopefully in the next stream or so. But yeah, uh, let me answer some questions here. Gamer since childhood? Yeah, of course. I've been addicted to every sort of video game since like the Sega Genesis, you know. Let's see, is damage everything? You have the feeling that the DK is a lot of constant high damage, lock spikes, has less damage in total. Probably a little less damage in total, but can still compete with the DK. I'd say that until you reach 2400, or at least 2100, the only thing I would focus on is damage. Like that's the number one thing that I think is missing from lower rated people is damage. You just gotta figure out your rotation, PvE it. I mean, even if you hop into M plus like mythic dungeons and just practice your PvE rotations, that's gonna help you in PvP because that's number one thing. If you're not doing competitive damage, then that's the number one thing you can fix. After that, then you focus on getting more crowd control, better interrupts, better positioning. But you could be the best interrupter and fearer in the world, and you still will not win games until you do competitive damage. So that's I would definitely say that. And every class can do competitive damage. It's just a matter of figuring out how to do it. So and every class has easier specs to do damage. Like Hellcaller is easier than Diabolist. But once you figure that out, you'll just start to climb. James, gaming's not only fun, but it gives ton of great benefits. Good sort of therapeutic. Yeah, I kind of agree. Maybe I do too much of it, but um, do I stream for fun or plan to go full time? So right now I'm kind of I'm streaming a lot because I'm sort of in between. I'm kind of on pause in my normal professional life, but I'm gonna pick that up again. So the summer is kind of like I'm testing the waters to see how far I can take streaming. Uh, I think we're like having pretty positive reception in terms of people like the chill demeanor and they also just like the content because Warlock is fun but hard. So have a lot to teach in that regard. But yeah, for now, just kind of like feeling it out over the summer. We'll see. Um, but for now, I've got family in town, so I'll be streaming more starting next week again. Uh, and I mean, I was basically full time streaming for a few months now, and things are going well. We'll see. But thanks for everyone for tuning in. I gotta go do some stuff with the family, and I'll be back online at some point later. All right. Peace all. Yeah, James, I'll try. We'll see. Yeah, I'm definitely, it's definitely not quite at the point where it's like paying the bills, so not even close. So we'll see. But even if the summer ends and I'm not like full time, like at a point where I can full time stream, I'll still continue to stream a lot because I play a lot of WoW regardless. So and I just love teaching. So Toot and Fresh, do I have any locks around 2K and threes? I do. I think I have one of my alts is, but I usually play with my wife and friends. On actually, I usually only do threes with the wife and friends. Never really pushed until this season. At least not since like Cataclysm or something. So we'll see. I'll text and whispers. Got a collab request? Okay, sounds good. Yeah. And you can join my Discord, and you can hit me up on Discord too. There's a link right there. All right, everybody. I am wrapping up the stream now. Thanks so much. See you all soon.